Hello, welcome back to Gran Turismo. Last time, our Honda City carried us through the majority of the beginner, professional, Japanese, and special events. But not really having learnt to deal with failure, the moment he had to settle for a bronze medal, he, retired. But don't panic, we had been expecting this, and all the time our Honda City was making money, we had been secretly investing it in this, a 2000 Subaru Impreza WRX Pro Drive. It's pretty good. Are we satisfied with pretty good? No. Luckily, we also bought a bunch of parts to increase this car's performance. Turbo? Check. Transmission? Check. Suspension? Check. Racing tyres? Quadruple check. Nitrous? You better believe that's a check. Now we've built a car so powerful it could potentially bend time and space. To demonstrate this, we're heading back to the special events for the final wet Tsukuba race, where our opponent will be an Audi R8 race car. A 200-point race. Let's be honest, that's not exactly a surprise. Now this Audi, being a high-performance race car, outperforms our heroic little WRX in terms of horsepower, weight, aerodynamics, and most importantly, looks. Due to all of those aspects, the Audi manages to put up one hell of a fight for about 3/4 of a lap. After that, the biggest challenge was deciding how we were going to finish with style. And on that, we failed. The next special event to be tackled was Rally di Umbria, which was broken into two separate races, forward and reverse. Forward put us up against the legendary Subaru WRX rally car, whereas reverse, I don't know, some Mitsubishi. First up is forward, and as much as we'd love to battle it out with our Subaru brethren, this WRX is far more powerful in every area, and we fly off to a very commanding lead, finishing well clear of the competition. Reverse turns out to be even easier. Our WRX breaks free of the Mitsubishi and builds up a lead of over 20 seconds before eventually making its way down to the finish line. I said making its way. At this point, the only remaining special events are the rallies, so we're going to tackle the easy and normal difficulty ones. And while it may not be sporting, we're taking the WRX, because Gran Turismo rallies are piss. And just like that, they're done. Before we go any further, we're going to need to tidy up the Beginner's Cup. And for that, we're going to need some other cars. Because a little known fact, Subaru WRX? Not a sports truck. Luckily, on the side, we have purchased one. And before you can even say, sports trucks are the worst, we've completed the event. Moving on over to the FR Cup. Jack, I hear you say, you just purchased a sports truck that's rear-wheel drive. Surely you can use that. You know what? You were absolutely right. We do have a rear-wheel drive sports truck we can use. Yes, let's all laugh at the poor little midget. But I'll be honest with you, besides the lack of acceleration and top speed, well, the thing's still a total pile of shit. Nevertheless, we win. Twice. The last event in the beginner series is the MR Cup. And for that, we've gone out and purchased ourselves a naturally aspirated MR2, so we can use it elsewhere. But for now, let's knock out these races. The MR Cup should not have been a challenge, and coming into the first hairpin, we're feeling overly smug, having just spotted a gap. But what we're about to realise is that this car has a bit of difficulty changing direction, and with that, our smugness is gone. Oh my god, just take your foot off the gas. Right, well now it's a challenge. It's a 2-lap race, and we've got to get from last all the way up into first. The good thing is, we're starting to get the hang of this MR2, and the majority of the opponents don't put up that much of a fight. So we quickly managed to cut our way through the majority of the pack, all the way up behind the NSX in first place. Flying past them on the final corner section, and with that, hits a straight shot to the finish line, claiming victory and putting the beginner series behind us, once and for all. At this point, it's time for a bit of closure. So we're heading back to win what the Honda City couldn't, the All Japan GT Championship. Only this time, we're bringing the WRX. And straight off the line, it's a completely different battle, as our 4-wheel drive system allows us to keep up with the opponents, gaining a few positions straight off the bat. And as the lap continues, our little Subi slowly creeps his way forward towards the front of the grid. And on the final straight, it's got the power, and a few moments later, it's up into second, now chasing down the NSX in first place. And all we're trying to do is keep our eye on the prize, waiting for that long straight to come around, where the WRX truly shines, flying past into first place, which it holds for approximately 3 seconds, as the NSX bounces off the wall and into the lead. So it looked like the race could be interesting, with a little battle for first place. Although now, I'm back to third. Things are clearly going in the wrong direction. That's second back, and in the beginning of the final lap, that's first place back. But with the hard compound of tyre that we're running, we just cannot match the NSX in the corners, dropping back into second, and in a bit of desperation, we accidentally flatten them into a wall, putting us on even footing as we come into the final straight. Only, that's our advantage area. And with that, we fly off, winning the championship. Honda City avenged? Check. So now let's move on to finish off the professional series. And for that, we need to take our little Subaru down to the Supercar Festival. Huh? Why? I cannot believe that Gran Turismo is doing this to me. I hate myself for even thinking about it. But I'm out of options. It's gotta be done. Oh boy, am I feeling sick. Yes. We don't even know if this car's gonna have the power to be able to enter the event. Well, shit. Alright, let's just get this race out of the way so we can dump this thing. The Evo lums its way off from the start line down towards the first corner, where surprisingly, it shows an incredible amount of grip, overtaking 3 of the cars before switching over and taking second as well. Yeah. Adequate. After that, it quickly closes the distance on first, waiting for the right moment to steal that position away from it. And at that point, the opponents don't see this car anymore, as it vanishes off into the distance, making light work of the entire championship. Now, I said I was going to dump this car, but let me clarify. What I meant was, I would dump it in my garage. For use later maybe. Finally it's time for the Gran Turismo World Championship, the last event in the professional league. And of course we're bringing along our trusty WRX, which is instantly shown to be incredibly outmatched, as the AI laughs, disappearing off into the distance, leaving us fully embarrassed. We're gonna need a better car, and for that, we're heading over to the Subaru special event, which contains races the WRX can win, rewarding us with this, the WRX touring car. Now this we should be able to use. And right off the bat, you can tell it's a whole different scenario, and our car should be able to win, right? Wrong. We will not win this race. We're struggling to keep up, and we're on racing soft tyres, which will only last us about 2 of the 11 laps we need to run. Unfortunately, I had to admit it. This WRX touring car just wasn't gonna cut it. What I needed was a top-of-the-line race car. Unfortunately, I didn't have 4.5 million credits. That meant I had 3 options. 1. Run through some championships to build up some credits. 2. Cannibalize my garage and hope there's enough money in it. Or 3. Run the same track for 66 laps in an endurance race just as I'm getting ready for bed. So it's been decided. Sleep is optional. And we're heading back to El Capitan for a 200-mile race. Or 66 laps. Either way, it's gonna take us just over 2 hours to complete. And our WRX takes great pleasure in pointing out that these are gonna be 66 very boring laps as it enters first place and takes off from the competition. Obviously, the Subaru was a bit too powerful to bring to this event, and it doesn't take long before it built up a lead of over a minute. But only 7 laps later, and the car's tyres are absolutely destroyed, and we have to pit. Now, what's interesting is that the AI cars seem to last double this amount of laps. And I've looked back through the replay, and for the life of me, I can't figure out a single reason why my tyres are getting so worn. Regardless, 7 laps later, and we're back in the pits again. Time to get these destroyed tyres off and put on a nice fresh set, so we can rapidly destroy them all over again. At this stage of the race, we're already lapping cars, but we are starting to feel very sleepy. Now that I had a commanding lead, it was time to pit and swap over to our B-Spec driver. Gran Turismo 4 allows you to have an AI driver to race for you, and they will level up and become better drivers with experience. I have given my AI driver none of that. Basically, this is the equivalent of throwing a toddler behind the wheel. I'm sure it'll be fine. Well, at least he's not going to burn through tyres. But I do wonder how second place is doing. Just a little faster, buddy. He is quickly gaining on you. Well, now you're just causing traffic jams. Get out. My AI driver's atrocious driving has forced me to rise from my slumber and retake the wheel, because he has squandered the giant lead we gave him, and we now find ourselves back in second place. So we need to return to the 7-lap pit stop strategy that's worked so well for us this far. And with that, we retake the lead, beginning to build up that large buffer of time all over again. Although we are sleepy, so not everything's perfect. But mistakes are kept to a minimum, and because of that, it allows us to walk away with a win. Finally allowing myself some well-deserved sleep. One short sleep, an incredibly long workday, and an absolute ton of coffee later, we come home to this, the Minolta Toyota race car. All of last night's efforts are about to be worth it, as we finally have a car that can compete in the Gran Turismo World Series. So let's get started. Not having traction control on really puts a hindrance on our starts, but it still doesn't take us long to catch up to 5th place, flying past him and setting our sights on the 787B and the other Minolta, the idiot who clearly went to the online school of driving, as he starts nudging us off the road, forcing us to withdraw from our attack. Yes, I know, I'm a hypocrite. Shut up. We use patience, waiting for an opening to appear, and as soon as it does, we pounce on it, flying past third and second, and with that, it's just first place remaining. And he is not keen to give up his position as we go side by side onto the bridge, where at the end of the day, we come off second best. But a lap later, he's out of tricks, and we're able to move past him into the lead. Each lap after this, our lead gets greater and greater until we can't be touched. With that, we fly home to victory. A few more races like that, and the entire championship is complete, giving us a large amount of reward money. On top of that, we're also given this car, the Ford GT LM race car, Spec 2. And with that, we've done it. The credits roll, and Gran Turismo is complete. Wait, hold on. This isn't the end of Gran Turismo. It just means that we've unlocked the extreme events. And heading over to them, we find this one. Sports tyres only. That means production models. I know what car we can use. Hello there, old friend. Oh, don't be so dramatic. We've got a race. So we're at the ring for a 2-lap race going up against other road cars. And straight away, the Honda City dives into action, eager to be back out on the track, proving it's still got some life left in it. Hunting down cars one by one as it bounces its tiny little wheels towards the front of the grid. City, it's so good to have you back. It's not long before it's in a podium spot already, as a 3-way battle commences between the Supra, WRX and the City, with the first car of the trio to lose out being the Supra, as slowly it's pushed back to third, leaving just the WRX and the City to battle it out for first place. How perfect is this, City, for you to show us what you're capable of? You're literally going up against the model that replaced you. And just like that, the plucky little Honda has ripped the lead away from the WRX, taking first and heading towards that finish. But I hope you didn't think it was going to be that easy, City. As in the final long straight, that WRX proves it's not out yet, reclaiming first and heading into the final lap. You're in second place, your tyres are starting to get worn. Maybe it's time you give up. The City, however, is having none of that, using the corner sections to reclaim its lead. And it's been saving something for the second lap. That is, every ounce of nitrous that it has, using that on the straights to absolutely power off into the distance, proving once and for all that it is still the king of racing. And with that, we're making money again. The duo is back together. Hey, where are you going? Don't worry, he'll be back. He'll be back.